Micheal in Texas.
Hi, Micheal.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey, I was, good to talk to you guys. Hi, Eric. Hi, Jenna.
Hello.
I had a couple of questions here. I mean, I called about, the sons of Adam and Eve.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a couple more questions in the meantime. I hope we can cover them. But anyway,
Well, hold on.
I'm trying.
Hold on, just so I'm clear, you wanted to talk about the story of Cain and Abel in the book of Genesis.
Well, not necessarily Cain and Abel. I was more Seth and Cain. You know, their wives.
Right, the ones that the ones they took from the land of Nod across the river after they exited Eden. That one?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess where did they come from? Because I don't know if in the Bible. Because I'm trying to learn and study and understand the story. The Bible itself.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if it says anything in the Bible where God created, other humans for them to marry.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know, where they came from or who they were?
So I've looked into it. It was one of the most uncomfortable conversations I had with my pastor, because I essentially asked him, was it just nothing but incest? But I was young. And I didn't realize just how bad of a question I was asking him. I was just like, was everyone having sex with their mom?
That's what I thought.
Like, what is going on? And my pastor said that God blessed their genes so that it would be okay. So according to my church, they did incest the earth into what it is, which was weird.
They said the same thing in my church.
Did they?
Except they didn't say that they made their genes okay. They just said, oh, well, that's just all there was.
No, well, God blessed it.
It was...
So he explained to you that they had sex with Eve, and that's where the children came from?
Mm-hmm.
But then I also was told that there were just also some humans outside of Eden. They had their own city, and they just went over there. No.
You said Nod, right?
No,
They weren't
Nod.
the first people.
No, they went and took wives, and everybody was just like, where the fuck did the other city come from? And nobody, I don't know, dude. It's not my fan fiction.
I think it's a make-believe story.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is kind of one of those things where, like, you gotta hop onto the fan sites because
We look at all kinds of questions about this in the Bible, and that's one of the reasons that we're so confused as to why so many people believe it, is because there's a lot that doesn't make sense in the Bible. And I had never read the Bible all the way until after I deconverted, because I was convinced that I had just gone to church every single Sunday of my entire life, and every single Sunday they read the Bible, so I'd heard it all by now.
So Jesus loves you in the comments says incest wasn't as bad then because there weren't as many bad mutations, is what I've been told.
Wow, and really, it doesn't even mention that in the Bible. When I asked one person, I guess he's studying to be some sort of pastor or something, and what he explained to me that, women weren't important, at that time, so that's why they didn't mention where the wives came from.
Yeah.
And I started, I wasn't raised in a religious background, but when I started reading the Bible, that's when I started, questioning certain things. And I think this is probably, at the beginning of the Bible, this is probably, one of the questions that, the beginning of my questioning of, certain things. And, why isn't it mentioned there? And, I just don't know. And I was hoping that maybe you guys may have had some sort of answers, or maybe somewhere in the Bible it says, they've had, God created other women for, the Seth and Cain to marry. But I just haven't come across that. So I didn't know if you guys had any other input on that.
The same crap happens after the flood.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. A lot of cousin fucking going on. Weird.
Yeah,
There's a
well,
lot of stuff that doesn't
I mean,
make sense to me in the
Yeah,
Bible.
but you know what, dude? The interesting thing is when I finally gave myself permission to put the Bible down, I had no reason to pick it back up.
Yeah.
The better question is, why are you picking it up in the first place?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm just trying to understand. I mean, I don't know. I mean, because it's a big part of human, I guess, human nature, human civilizations. I mean, since pretty much the beginning of time. I mean, people believed in most gods, back in the day than Christianity with one God. And honestly, I don't know if it's if there's anything to it or if I'm just wasting my time. I mean, I just don't know.
Were you raised in any religion?
No, my family, they were Catholic, but, we didn't really practice. My mom didn't take us to church or anything like that. And I really didn't start reading the Bible until, my adult life, probably into my early 30s. And, trying to, I guess.
But were you told things like God is love and, Jesus loves you? And were you told religious things throughout your whole life? Was more of my question.
Not until I started actually questioning, God, the Bible, trying to understand if it's, if it was real or not. And that's when, the people that I talk to, that's when they'll, that's when they started talking to me about, how the truth is in Jesus Christ. Just look at Jesus Christ. He loves you. And it's really just the people that I've been asking questions, to try to understand what's going on. Those are the people that kind of come at me sort of in that direction. But as a child or growing up, really I didn't have any of that until I started talking to people and questioning about the Bible.
So
lucky bastard.
So you're agnostic right now?
I don't know. I mean, putting a label on something, I really don't know.
Okay.
I mean, maybe I guess you can classify.
Do you mind just letting me know where you're at?
To be honest with you, I don't know. I mean, really, the Bible itself, I don't understand, or I don't think that the Bible was inspired by God. I think that, men wrote the Bible maybe to control the populace when the Bible was written. Mm-hmm. As far as God itself, I mean, I just don't, I don't know. I mean...
Is it more of is there a God or which God is it kind of question in your head?
Maybe a God. Maybe he created us and just left us, to fend for ourselves. Maybe, the Bible itself wasn't even inspired by God. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know. But that brings me to one question, though, because I was looking at something recently. I don't know if you guys ever heard of the golden ratio fractals.
Yeah, absolutely.
And see, a lot of people talk about intelligent design, and these two things that I was looking at, I mean, it seems to me like they're discovered in nature. I mean, from the smallest atom, I guess, even looking out into the universe. And, there's something to that. And I don't know if, what do you guys think?
So how do you get
that
from something to that to a God?
Well, it doesn't sound like it sounds like it's kind of nebulous.
Well, kind of however you define this God, whether it's energy or whatever, it's however you define God. How do you get from something to it to a spiritual being or a God or a deity or however you want to word it? Or
is it just an unexplained thing?
I don't know. I mean, these things right here, to me, I mean, it seems, because people talk about, intelligent design and these types of things in nature, they seem to have some sort of consistent pattern. So I don't know. I mean, I just wanted to maybe...
Does a pattern mean that there is a designer? Is there no way to have a pattern without a designer?
Not necessarily.
Really?
I don't believe.
Have you looked into it?
I don't know. No, I haven't really looked into it.
Okay, cool. So there's actually, I think Eric is actually pulling it up right now.
So there was a little bit that I wanted to talk to you about and kind of point you toward.
Was it the mandala thing? I learned about it in Philosophy Beyond Belief. philosophy Under the Influence.
I might not have been there. The Mandela effect?
The Mandela effect.
Yeah.
About how there are patterns, even if there's nobody there to create a pattern. And so I was just saying, like, there are several examples that you can start looking into of how you can find patterns without a designer.
And I was going to take it in a completely different
Oh,
direction.
really?
Yeah, the direction
I think talking about that is the Mandela effect. I mean, that's something that has to do with our memory, though. I mean, that, because these are specific mathematical patterns, because they can also, they believe that the Fibonacci sequence is also somehow related to the golden ratio.
Okay, now I really want to share the thing. I want to share the thing. Please, can I share the thing?
Yeah.
I think we're getting somewhere.
So I'm a really, 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 really big geek, and one of the things that I absolutely love is a channel called Number File on YouTube.
What is that?
Number File?
Yeah.
If you want to go real deep math, like, they do some really great stuff. And Number File and a couple of other channels have talked about the golden ratio.
I don't know anything about it at this point.
And, well, the important thing to know is the golden ratio is not as hard to get to as you would think. And the fact that it occurs in nature is not a surprising thing when you get to understand the way it all works out. So even if it did seem complex, you have the right answer right now. I don't know. And that's okay. And as you're exploring it, what you're asking is the right question. How do I learn? That's a fucking wonderful place to be. Yeah. You're not saying, but what you're kind of walking the line on is, well, maybe that means there's a creator. No, it just means there's a thing you don't know. And that's okay. But look into it and then find out and then tell other people so that they'll know.
And keep looking into it.
Yeah, it's a totally good place to be. I mean, just the thing is, don't give it more weight than it deserves. You know what I mean? Like, just
don't get stuck where you feel like you found the answer.
Yeah, this is the thing.
There might not necessarily be the answer to anything.
Yeah.
So we just got to come up with an answer and just kind of go with it. And then if something leads me to change it, then I change it. And
almost, I start with
I
try and start with 0, and then if there's an answer that comes up, I'll follow it.
Right. Did I not say that?
No, you said come up with an answer. It's okay.
We'll come up with something that you believe might be true, and then investigate is more.
Oh yeah, hypothesize and then.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah, and I kind of believe. I mean, me personally, I think that there may not ever, I may never be able to come to a conclusion. I mean, I may just be wasting my time, just kind of looking into this type of stuff. But I mean, honestly, I think that it's a big deal in a lot of people's lives.
Yeah,
and even if the God of the Bible was true, I don't think that, honestly, I don't think that I would want to worship, that particular God. Because, I mean, some of the stories in the Bible that I've read, I mean, they're just, I just don't think a God would do some of the stuff that he's commanded these men to do.
Well, I wouldn't worship a God who did.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if I can believe in that type of God. But, I mean, I don't know if maybe there is, something out there. So, I mean, that's why I'm just kind of, kind of questioning this. And I don't know, I think a lot of the stuff that I, read up on or look into, it's mostly just for, entertainment, for whatever reason, because who knows, at the end of the day, it may not ever matter. I mean, I mean, I didn't know my existence before I was born, and, maybe after I die, I won't know my existence then.
That's exactly how I see it. When people ask, where do you think you go when you die? I say exactly where I went before I was born.
So we've been corrected in the live chat. I just want to throw that out there.
Oh,
and
really?
then Michael, we do have a couple more calls we want to get to, but we've been corrected, and I just want to make sure that I throw it out there for all of us to hear. Mm-hmm. And that is, we were talking about incest. And then we were also talking about whether or not we would worship a God that was that immoral. Whether a God exists and is immoral, and whether or not incest is icky, has nothing to do with whether or not it's true.
Yeah.
And so basing your conclusions on ick factor or immorality is a bad idea. It does not get you to truth. We can talk about moral and ethical things, and we can talk about our current societal views on the way that we choose our partners. but it doesn't have anything specifically to do with whether or not that God exists. So
Right.
good call on the live chat.
Yeah,
That is
thank you for
absolutely
that.
true. So Micheal, I hope you have a really good rest of your day.
Yeah.
Thank you for calling.
Hey, I appreciate it.
Appreciate you, man.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah, we did. We started going down that hole. Yeah, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's gross.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right.